Thank you very much for the awards we received today. Charlie, thank you for the introduction. Good to be back here today. But first of all, the First Lady, as you know, is part of the recipient of this award. It's not here today. But you're going to learn what it's like as people here today expecting the First Lady to be there as much as Governor of the state of Missouri, I expect her to be there sometimes, and she tells me she's not going to be there. So that's kind of the way life is as it goes. But receiving the award about JAG today, the reason the First Lady's not here is because she's taking care of some youth back home. We were become the sixth of our grandchild was born on Friday, so she's home doing grandma duties there. I couldn't be more proud of Teresa for taking the JAG program underneath her wings, I want to say, once I become governor, then she really stepped forward to do that. And let me just tell you, to all you administrators, whether you come from a small school, big school, rural school, urban school, if you're not familiar with the JAG program, you should be. And you really need to find out how the funding sources work, because it's going to be one of the cheapest programs you can put in. It's funded by the private sector. A lot of it is funded by the private sector. But more importantly, the things what Paul said at the last is what you ought to understand. The kids that we target are those borderline kids, whether they make it in school or whether they don't. Whether they're the ones that's going to drop out, and you know that's not going to be a good result of what it is. But if we can keep them in school, if you can help by keeping them in school, 98% of them is going to graduate, and 90% of them is going to have a job when they get out. And we're going to track them once they get out of your school. We're going to track them for a year after that to make sure they are doing what they need to do to get into the workforce. That's why we're so proud of the JAG program. And I know that's what the First Lady would be telling you today if she was here. You know, I think it was Jim Jones that told me last year when I come here to speak to you, he said it really didn't matter what you say, you're going to get a standing ovation just because you're the new guy on the block. Of course, he has a little ties with my office because his wife works at the office. So I don't know where Jim's at, but Jim, today, I got a year under my belt, and you know what? I got to probably come up with some answers and explain today what I did do when I said I was going to take over being governor. And I just want to thank you all for choosing the profession and touching so many lives here in Missouri, and especially the lives of those that will shape Missouri's future. Being an educator today isn't an easy job. It's a job that takes many hours of hard work and sacrifice. Families are different, children are different, and education is always changing. You must always be looking for ways to stay on the cutting edge and meet the demands of our dynamic economy here in the state of Missouri. As you know, I am a strong supporter of public education, and I want to make sure that the future of Missouri's youth is on the right track. We owe it to our students to provide the highest quality education in Missouri. It's my mission to learn from your experience, help you improve our children's education. When I stood here a year ago, I shared with you some goals for public education. And I'm pleased to share today that we have accomplished those goals. We know having a working state board of education with a commissioner in place, such as Commissioner Van Dieven, and she is doing an outstanding job. Thank you very much, Margie. For me to get my piece done in workforce development, I needed you. I needed that board complete. And I need these administrators to understand how important that was to me. So I thank you for calling back to the state of Missouri and doing your duties on that. We have passed key pieces of legislation to improve our infrastructure in our state of Missouri. We have developed a school safety task force to help keep our district safe and ensure the health and well-being of our students. We have fully funded the foundation formula. We have approved the budget, including over $20 million for early childhood education. I am a firm believer in early childhood education. If we are changed, society as a whole, me and you, from the different areas across the state, the only way that we will do that is with those young kids. You're not going to change anybody in my age bracket, to be right honest about it. We're not going to change. We are who we are. You are who you are, most of you in this room. But you can change children. And it's a long-term approach, but it's the approach we have to go down to in Missouri if you really want to make a difference. If you want to change society for the better, that's what we got to focus on, is early childhood development. Would you not agree with that, Peter? We have passed bills to fund computer science and STEM education, autism program, and other major education priorities. This past year has been historical for Missouri government and its people, and we're excited for where the next year is headed. We will continue to focus on workforce development and reform our initiatives to align with elementary and secondary education. We will continue working to improve our infrastructure and provide our school districts with the resources to help our students succeed. And we will continue to promote the teaching profession and encourage school leadership. Speaking of teachers, as I learned from being governor, when we're ranked 47th and the 48th in the United States taking care of our teachers in this state, is a sad day for all of us in this room, including myself as governor, including you as administrators. That is not what we want to be known for in this state. This state's on the right track, but we got to step up our game. We got to take care of our teachers. I talked to Margie, I've talked to Charlie, I've talked to some of the other members from the commission. And here's what I'm saying. And I'm challenging all of you in this room today to help me, because I need your guidance. And I can't do it on my own. But I need you to figure out a plan that's feasible, that we can get done in the next 3 to 5 years. And instead of be ranking 47th and 48th in the nation, I want you to get to 30, is what I'm asking you today to do, that you work and tell me how you can get that done. You guys know as well as anyone what's efficient, what's not efficient, what we can do better, and what doesn't work. But I need you to help me to figure out that. And then I want to work with you to figure out how do we take care of the teachers across our state, because they are the future. They are the future of this state, is those teachers. And they're just as much a part of workforce development as anybody else is there. But we got to have them, but I need your help to make sure that happens. And by supporting those educators, we also support our children and their futures. Rest assured that we are committed to giving our children a proper education and giving you the respect and integrity you deserve as educators. There's a reason you went into this profession. Everyone in this room may come from a different background, but we all have one thing in common when it comes to the work we do. It's called passion. In your passion for teaching and passion for your students, this passion pushes you through the many challenges and obstacles that come with being an educator. Also, parents should be confident that their children are receiving the best education possible. And when we must continue to find ways to support our educators and to improve our school districts. The stronger our school districts, the stronger our economy and the brighter our future. As governor, it is my mission to keep the communication line open between educators and government officials and the private sector. It is going to take all of us working together to improve Missouri public education system for the future generations and the future of our state. Together, we can ensure that young minds are equipped with the knowledge and skills to be successful in the real world. When my time as governor comes to an end, I hope we look back and we all see the accomplishments as a team we have worked together to make our school systems better and to educate our kids for the future. My kids, your kids, our grandkids, that they have the same opportunities that all of us in this room have had. Because I think I probably said it last year, but I'm going to say it again because I think you of all people need to hear it. If we are to change, and if we are to make our state the best, it will be you that decides whether we are better or whether we are worse. Because that's how much influence you have on our kids. The only reason me and you are here today, all of us in this room, is because of what people done before you, what teachers done before you. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for some teachers in my life. But the only reason you're here in this room today is because of what educators, what people done before you got here. It is so important that we understand that, because it is our responsibility, mine and yours, to make sure that people sit in your seats. That's the next generations that will be coming. That they have the proper tools that they need to be successful. That they get to live, quote, the American dream. The only way they get to live it is through you, the educators. You as administrators are in this room. That responsibility is yours. If you'll work with me, I guarantee you I will do my part as governor of the state of Missouri to give you tools you need to be able to do the accomplishments you need to do back home in those cities, those counties, those small districts across the state. Because we can change the future of Missouri, and we can do it for the betterment of the next generation. It is an honor and privilege to be the 57th governor of the state of Missouri. God bless you, God bless Missouri, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much for having me here.